for user interface madness. Nick Hunter is going to explode the user interface and user experience of the FileMaker platform. Do a deep dive on user interface and customer management, tabs, slide controls, accordion objects, master detail. Your tour guide, Nick Hunter, will guide you through everything you need to know to be an awesome FileMaker user interface developer. So buckle up, hang on tight, because things are about to get crazy. Welcome, everyone, to another awesome day of awesome FileMaker training. I'm Richard Carlton, creator of FMTrain.tv, along with our guest speaker, primary instructor, or whatever, co-instructor, I guess I would say, Nick Hunter, who's here with us today. Hi, Nick. How are you?
Doing good.
Good. Now make sure you say hi nice and high to your microphone. It's so close and snuggly. Real quick, so some low-hanging fruit before we get going. We are broadcasting in high definition to YouTube, Twitch, and Discord every given day. We have a number of users that show up, and I mean like 50, 60. We have people in YouTube who kind of lurk. We have people in Twitch who kind of lurk. So feel free to let us know who you are. Give us your name and your city or something, your first name and city, like Fred from Alcatraz, right? Or Pelican Bay or something like that. Like if you're in a penitentiary and you're watching this as part of your re-education after you've been in a criminal mastermind, then let us know. Give us some tips on how to be criminal masterminds with the FileMaker platform. That would be funny. That would be a fun webinar. And so we can see the upcoming schedule of Nick. There is a lot of Nick. So if you go to fmtrain.tv, which is our website, where you can learn about awesome stuff, awesome training, you can get one-on-one coaching. You can purchase our bundle, which allows you to watch all sorts of videos on demand. So it's basically about 80 hours, 90 hours of on-demand FileMaker training across the board with the FileMaker platform, updated for FileMaker 19. And then we're kind of injecting little updated videos as we go. We have some new content was posted last week, and we'll have some additional content as we go. I'll give you folks an update on that at some point. But this is where you get the bundle. That's how you support the channel. So this live stream is free, right? I was laughing. We were looking last night because Claire's had the video listings and of the upcoming events and stuff, and it was like paid course, paid course, paid course, and then there was a random monthly user group meeting, and then there was our stuff every day, which is free, but it doesn't say free. So I guess I should point out that none of you are actually writing a check today directly for this, although to be honest with you, Nick came to me yesterday and said, man, people should pay for this. And I go, well, yeah, I agree, but you know, what are you going to do? I mean, it's like complaining about the passenger should have paid more for the airline flight, but they're already in the plane flying and you're on the way, right? So what are you going to do, right? So anyway, but this stuff is really amazing. Nick keeps upping the game during off hours. So if you want to help support the channel, you want to make sure that we feel incentivized, that Nick feels loved, make sure you let people know about buying the bundle here. Nick, are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Yeah. We are talking about
drones and Hellfire missiles. No?
Yeah.
That would be a lot more fun. Although I'll be honest with you, today's the stuff that Nick has been showing, it's causing me stress because it's forcing me to invest more in starting point. It makes me very old and my face gets wrinkly like this. So.
I know it's hard to resist.
All right.
Yeah, thank you everybody. I appreciate all the comments and stuff like that. And so so yesterday we left over the thing here. And so today we are going to switch gear, okay? That means we are going to go deeper in the design, and I'm going to lay down everything you need to know. Also, so are we going to stay longer? Are we going to extend the webinar, or?
Well, okay, so all right, that's more of a logistics thing. So instead of starting and talking about interface, we're going to briefly cover. So here's the rub. So I'm and this is like a legit conversation. So we have room to book Nick extra days, and we're thinking about doing that. But my concern is that his mental health is good, and he also can work on some of his customer project work, because if all he does is training, he doesn't do any customer project work, then he loses his edge. He's not as a good a person, so a good developer. So as a manager, I'm trying to make sure he doesn't melt down, and I really don't need the defibrillators on him across the screen here, right? So we're thinking for sure about a couple extra days, like 3 days right now. I don't know what happens beyond that. I really don't have a straight read on that. Um, so yeah, if anyone has any comments or thoughts about this, we'll know more as we get to the end of next week. But I mean, if he keeps delivering, I'm going to just be very frank, this good every day, uh, how do you say no to that, right? The problem is that we have to figure out how to like somehow monetize this. And that, to be honest with you, that's with the live training. This is all free. We've never really figured out how to monetize it, right? So, and I don't mean like getting rich. I just mean like more than zero, right? Which is what we're doing right now. So anyway, as a reminder, that's why you buy the bundles, to help Nick. Because the money that comes in the bundles pays Nick to sit here. So anyway, there you go. So Nick, I don't know what we're doing. Probably a couple extra days, but that's my cross to bear, is to figure out how not to get you killed in the process.
Thank you for taking care of me like this. And so we yesterday we did a lot of exciting things, but today will be even more exciting. So um, as I mentioned multiple times, and I keep mentioning, all of this is I reinvent myself pretty much every day. So this is brand new things, even for me. So Richard is receiving late at night, in the evening, is receiving screenshots and say, okay, this is for tomorrow, and is melting down each time. So we are going to go deeper. Okay. Remember, at the first day, I pretty much laid down things that there was kind of bursting open doors, like we say, um, and but you will see that everything that I was saying during that time was relevant. So today we are going to talk about buttons. Okay, so let's go to the previous layout, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to talk about today. What I'm talking about. I'm talking about those buttons here. Button here, 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 here. So there's a lot of buttons here. A button here, button here, button here. Okay, so you have a lot of buttons. Okay, and here you have buttons here also, and you have the button here. So there's a lot of things to digest, a lot of things to figure out. Okay, and when you see these things like this, you say, okay, what those stuff are for. The first thing you need to know, okay, is that when you put buttons on the screen, those buttons needs to go along together, and they need to talk. They need to pretty much have a sense of telling a story. You know, they need to tell a story. That means you cannot say duplicate, then go to task, then delete, then or send an email. They cannot do things like this. They cannot be completely disconnected to each other. Here, at the time when I did that layout here, I position things like this. Say, okay, those are actions: duplicate, print, label, and report. And those are things where you go. You go to task, you go to calendar. I mean, you open the QuickBooks stuff, you open the task, you open the calendar, and you open pretty much the attachment, documents. Okay. So on one side you had kind of things where you go, and on the other side you have thing to do, actions, duplicate, prints. So this is that was the kind of the rule. The rules is you have to group a thing together where they have a sense of continuity. They must tell a story. Okay. So what happened with this? Here we have multiple problems here. First of all, you can see you have a lot of tooltips. So tooltip, you can still use them, but they are quite obsolete kind of paradigm. Okay, so if you look closely, you will see that nothing in your system and nothing in other applications are using tooltip anymore. Okay, So, and because there's a problem on the tooltip, the problem is you are not sure 100% that people will see it. I can play, I can keep overing this, and I will never see one tooltip and ever. Okay, I will start seeing the tooltip if I do this, and I wait to the thing to come. So you are not sure 100% that people will get that. Okay, so you pretty much you toss a ball in the oceans, praying that somebody is going to find it. So we are going to address those issues right now, and you will see it's the way to address this is very simple. First, here I have a button here. So why? We all know what that means. Okay, we all know what that means. It's a paradigm that it means there's a menu here. There's something we have, something I will have choices here. This is what that means. I will have choice to do things. Okay, so this is why we use that. And why did I put that inside that box here? It's because this box is all about the account. It's the name of the account, the type of the account, and the status of the account. So this is pretty much, I'm conveying the sense that this is all about the account. This is also about the account, but this is about the communication, the billing, and the shipping. This is about the account. So everything I'm going to do this, I put in front of the name of the account. That means, okay, that for you. It's like when you go to the, if one day we can go again, but if you go to the DevCon at, FileMaker DevCon, you have to wear a badge around your neck, so you have a badge for you on top of you. So this is why I'm putting this. This is a badge on top of the account, right? It's something like this. So how we address the issue of the buttons. Okay, so let me do this. When you click here, I want this to happen. Okay, so here I fix the problem of the tooltip, obviously, because now it's no longer something that I hope they will see, but this is something they will see, and everything is together in a very comfortable way. And why this works well? It works well because I have now a support to lay down a UI, and then I can attach to the UI, and I can, with the UI, create a workflow, create a UX. Here it works. To have a UI, you need a support. For example, FileMaker is giving me multiple support, physical support. First, the window. This is the support where I can put something. Okay, this is the concept. You have a window, and then you can lay down text, and you can put text, buttons, and shapes, and fields. So this is your primary support, is the window. Inside the window, I have other kind of support. I have slide control. This is a support. See, it's an object where I have a support, and the object has a particularity. They have specifications. This one is a multi-slide, multi-panel kind of. It's a multi-panel kind of object, right? And here, I want to use a popover, right? So this is a popover. Okay, this is a popover. But I want to have an advanced popover. So a popover is also, what's the name? It's also a support, So when you go there, you say popover. So you have a new support. Okay, this is a support.
You said support. Is that what you're saying? Support?
Yeah, support, physical support. Something you put a table, like a table support.
Okay.
Right. So it's a table where it's like a counter. It's like a kitchen counter. I can put things there, and then you have but you have cabinets. So this for example, this will be more like a cabinet. This will be more like a drawer. Okay. So you see, if you want to have kind of a physical representation of
Right,
something.
right, right. No, I just because support, yeah, it could mean a lot of different things.
No, yeah, not support like the hotline, the
Right.
customer support. No, no, no. Support, physical support. That was a physical support.
Yeah.
It's supporting. It's
Okay, good.
So I can put things inside this. I can put shape. I can put text. I can put everything inside this. Okay. Here, I wanted to put. I have this here. So now I have a support where I can lay down objects in a much comfortable way. I create my support. I have my cabinet, right? And now I can put things inside it. I can put, the groceries, okay? And here you have kind of a very clear separations between what happened here. You have that duplicate print report, it's pretty much action that, is doing action, is doing things to the accounts. And here you view things, about labels. This is all about labels. And here at the end, since this is related to this account here, I can delete the account. I will not put any delete button right away there. You don't have, when you open, if you open the Finder here, so do you have I did that on purpose. See, you don't have new, quick look, delete. We don't have normally we don't have those buttons here. We don't have those, Normally we don't have. Normally we have, well, I can do this. You know what I mean? This is what we normally have in the thing. This is what we normally have, okay? So we don't have a delete button. We have the trash, right? I don't know why it's so slow. Okay. Anyway, so we don't have those. So you never put a delete button, something that is dangerous, on the screen, or only if you don't want to delete the account itself, because if you delete the account, you're going to delete everything that's related to the account, right? So, but I don't want to talk too much about delete because I'm going to show you what we can do with the deletion, okay? Later maybe next week, okay? So now you see how we lay down this the thing here. And now you can see this popover doesn't look like a FileMaker popover, okay? A FileMaker popover looks like this, out of the box. It looks like this, This is how it looks, It looks like you have this, point here. You have this carrot here, that's like this, and you have this is what you have, okay? And you don't have much of control about what the positioning. You have this kind of control, okay? But you don't have a control where you want to position, where you want the popover to start. We can align the popover left and right. We cannot do that, which is or up and right, up and down. We can align it. I cannot have this here starting here. I cannot have it. So we have tricks to do what we want. It's a little bit hacky. I accept that denomination. Okay, it's a hack. I can tell you that, but it's unfortunately it's a necessary hack. Okay. And it doesn't look bad at all, okay? So this is how you do. You have a popover that is here. The popover is here. This is where the popover is here. But the popover is transparent. So the popover, I remove the out shadow. I remove the back, I remove the background and the out shadow. That is my popover. I removed it. I removed this, and I removed the background. And inside, I put my own, my own kind of area, the rounded rectangle. I put my own. I can even put my own close icon here because it's inside the popover. You can see the popover here. Everything is inside, and then I can just do exactly what I want to, I put what I want, whatever I want inside the popover. But the advantage here now, I can position, see the here, the edge here, I can position the edge where I want, not because otherwise you would have start here, which is kind of off what I want. I want this. I want to put that here. Okay? I want to put that here. So how you do to hide this guy, you know, how you hide this guy? Okay, you go to the hidden state and you put 1. Yes, even if the button of the popover is hidden, that means it's not accessible. If you click on it, it won't be accessible. It's not accessible. If I click here, there's nothing happening. But if I use a go to object script step and I point to the popover, it opens. So that's why we, you know, this works very well because now I have a nice popover, modern popover, without this, you know, the pointy, the arrow pointing to the thing. And I can even have my own close button that looks great, floating in the air like this. Like you cannot, we can have it. We can have it on the regular popover, let's say. So this is how you lay down the buttons here, okay? So now you say, okay, there's other kind of buttons.
Nick, okay, hang on. David Angel says, Nick, point to the popover button or an object inside, question mark?
Yes. So here how you do. So you can name the popover itself, or you can name an object inside, okay? Whatever, you need to name the popover itself, but I prefer to name the object. I prefer to name an object inside. This is my preference, but you could name the popover itself. It will work also. You know, if you remove the name here and you put the name on the popover itself, it will work too. You know, it's the same. Okay, it will work too. It's up to you. It's whatever. You know. You could even put the name inside an object of the popover. You know, you could put the name here if you want. It's whatever inside the popover need to have the name. I prefer to put the name here for preference because the name it's my own preference. It's you have complete freedom here. So now here I have a menu number 2 here. I have a menu number 2. Okay. Because I have another button here. But you can see I have twice the same icon, but I won't confuse the people. You confuse the people if you do this. If you do this, and you put this together here, okay, you confuse the people. What that means. You have no clue what that means. Now, just because you position the button on a specific place telling a story, then you understand, you give kind of a clue to the user. For example, here you have a search, right? And then if you do search, you don't find it, you create. Here it's all about, and you can see I put my sorted and unsorted here. It's all about found sets. 1 out of 100, total of hundreds, unsorted. So you give an information here, and guess what? Inside this button, it's all about found set. It's all about totals. Is unsorted. What do you think you will see? Sorted by and filter by. So I want to sort by accounts, and I want only the active, and I execute. See? So now it's sorted. I want to sort by type and status, and I want the inactive. See? So because this button here is in front of this information stuff, it makes sense to find this here. Okay? So again, I have now a nice UI, a very comfortable. I have the support, the popover, to lay down my UI, and out of my UI, Now I have the user experience.
Okay.
Let me show you.
Question. I'm just gonna interrupt Nick because I'm looking at Moki here. So is Moki says, is there a way to get rid of the black X circle to close popover?
Is there a way to get rid of the black X circle to close popover? Or this? I build it.
Yeah, you don't have to have it
No, but I want because
because people expect it. It's kind of an expected thing, right? If you have
it is an expected thing. People are not understanding that they can click outside and dismiss it.
right,
It's
right.
it's
So
kind of something. Look, you can.
yeah, Kyle's saying the same thing, right? Yeah, it's a user, it's a convention of user interface. Like with the first day we were talking about training, education, right? People
Yeah,
are educated
exactly.
to look for some sort of close or escape or something like that. The other part of this is, I don't know if it's on this one or I guess it's on the Mac, right? Normally, if you hit escape, it doesn't necessarily close it. So we program an on trigger keystroke to make sure that if you hit escape, it closes it out. There's a couple things you have to do with the popovers, right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
but now popover close with escape on their own.
really.
Yeah,
Okay, where was that an issue? We were wrestling with that. Or was it a card? It was a card when you popped a
the
card.
car style window.
Because
Yeah.
the card, listen, these both came out about the same time. The popovers and the card style windows both about the same time. And people expect to be able to close them by hitting some sort of like X or something, or hitting the escape key if you're on a keyboard, right? So, yeah.
So, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's a you can remove it. It's a button I designed here. It's not okay. So, um, now I want you to understand with this simple example the connection that we have between the physical support, where you are going to lay down the UI, the graphical interface. That means all the objects that you need, the building blocks. Remember the Legos? Okay. You put the Lego on the floor or on the table. Okay. So you need a table to put the Legos. So you have the table, you put the Legos, and then out of your Legos, you're going to build something. You're going to get something. Sorry. And here I want a user I wanted the user experience that the UX is stand for. User experience, UI, human user interface, UX, user experience. Okay. So the user experience, I want a great user experience. First of all, I want something very visual so that you can click one, you can see, here you can click something. Okay. So you click this, and then you can click this. If you click, 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 click. Okay, that is okay. But you remember, when I started this, it was empty. And let's say I don't want, that would be a terrible user experience. If each time you click somewhere, it starts sorting. If I click here and sort, I click here and sort, I click here and sort. Oh, I unclick, it unsort. Unclick is unsort. Or I click active, it filter active. If you do that, that's a terrible user experience. Everything will be moving on the back and stuff like that. That terrible experience. No. What you do, you say, you let the people to do their choice, and then you say execute. But I don't want, that's the conventional wisdom, that when you have anything inside a popover, when you click outside, you cancel what you just asked. You don't launch anything when you dismiss a popover. Never, ever. This is a mistake number one that you do, is when you have something and you click outside and it launch something. Because the clicking outside could be accidental. Could be like, oh, you do this and this and this and this and I did something, I didn't want to do that, and you lost your stuff. You know what I mean? You don't want that. So now, for example, I am sorted by account type, and I have showing only active. Okay. Let's say I'm doing a change here. Okay. But I don't click on execute. I click outside. What happened is it comes back the way it was. So I select something else, right? And if I click outside or hit escape, it comes back the way it was. So this is the way to prevent to lose your users. You lost them if you start doing things that they don't have the control. Clicking outside and dismissing to dismiss something is dismiss. It dismisses the popover. It doesn't validate anything. You didn't sign the contract when you do this. When you left, if you leave the office by the front door, you didn't. It doesn't mean you signed the contract. You sign the contract only when you click I agree. Okay, so so it's important to know that. Okay, because I see many mistakes that that people are doing by having crazy insane scripts out of the popover, right? And people doesn't know what's going on, and then okay, so now you know that you don't you can I have a trigger out of my popover to control this. When you click outside, it resets. It's a script trigger attached to my on exit object on my popover. Yes, I'm not saying that don't interpret what I say. Yes, I have script trigger. I'm not saying not using the script trigger on the popover. I'm saying don't put like, oh, go to this layout, export 2 million records, go to another layout, re-import 2 million records, sort them, do 5 relookups. I'm not saying that. Here I'm doing something very simple. I set the current filter, and I set and I set the current filter sort. Also, when I exit, I'm doing twice the same thing, but this is on exit, because on exit is different. See, I'm doing this. It's very simple. That's what I'm doing. Okay, it's very simplistic things. I'm not, what I mean. So that's what I was saying. I was saying that, you see, I'm doing 2 variable. I'm not doing like export, import, or execute SQL and create a virtual list. No, I'm not doing this. Right, I am staying calm here. Okay, so
staying calm. I like that. Okay, so did you reply? I don't know if you did this or not. I was looking at another message here. UK lad, Simon says, control that with script triggers, I assume. So
yeah, it is. I just answered this.
Okay, did so, okay, my bad, yeah. My bad. And then Farkle 5, it's a cancel. It's good. So he's paying attention over there. Farkle, are you in 2 places at once? Are you in Discord and Twitch? Is that you doing 2, or is this someone who saw Farkle 5 and decided to name themselves Farkle 5 just to mess with you? Yeah, it's Farkle 5, right? Yeah. All right, copy all. Thank you.
So same thing here. You have the popover is here, and I position the popover where I want it to be positioned, and I use the same as this one. So when you have one, you can reuse it and use it again and again and again, and you call them 2. Call them 1, then you can you can put a name on top of, and this is hidden, and I put orange, yellow, and if it bothers you during the construction, you just hide them, and that's it. It's gone. Even though you go back to browse mode and back to layout mode, what you hid on the layout stay hidden, so you're good to go. It's not bothering you all the time in the middle. You can just do this, okay, and you click on the eye here. By is not there. It's there, but it's not bothering you anymore. Okay, so let's continue now. Okay, so we saw about I tried to find a very simple kind of example to explain the connection between the physical support. You need a physical support table to lay down your user interface, buttons, object, whatever, and then to have a construct out of this to get a user experience, right? So you need to understand, you need to make sure that you're not going to lose people. Okay. And this is very hard, by the way. It took me, you know what? It took me 2 hours and a half to make this popover work yesterday. Okay. It's not easy. I mean, not because of the technique, it's because to make sure that, when you click here, here, and here, and here, and you sneeze and you answer the phone, bam, you lost, right? So it's very hard to get. That's why they have a what's the name? User kind of for user testing. Software.
Usability testing. Yeah.
Usability testing. They're asking the people on the street, we offer you a sandwich. Can you come here and play with us? And we just record you and watch you play using the software, and you have a free lunch, right? Stuff like that. FileMaker was doing this. They were going to other. They were going to the company around them. Yep. And they would say, okay, if you want to come at the cafeteria, free lunch, and everybody wants a free lunch for 1 hour of their life. So, okay. So now let's continue, shall we? I want now to go to the big stuff. Okay. And what the big stuff? We are going to take care of this. And first, we are going to take care of their contacts. We are going to take care of this, and we are going to take care of contacts. First of all, the first thing I want to address here before we start is the new button. Okay. First of all, here you see the problem. Click here to add a related contact to this account. So the button said new, and the text said add. Okay. So new is not an action. Plus, it's an action. Plus, it's an action. New is not. You are not newing a contact, or you didn't nude anything yesterday. Okay, or you're not going to new me. Okay, so new is not an action. So new cannot be a word that you put in a plus button. Okay. So it's not. You can do it, or in that case, you need to say create new. Create new. Okay. So I don't know how. FileMaker said new record, but it's a new record. And it's not the plus. In that case, you have to remove the plus, right? But anyway, here they said duplicate, delete. Actually, I think it's a mistake here, because there should be create record. I wanted to lay down this. I want to explain that why, because it's very important. It needs to be a verb: create, delete, duplicate, print, go, okay, remove. Okay, so now I want to take care of this, and I want to have this here, this environment here. Let's position here. Okay. So now I have a new support. I have a new table, brand new table is there, right? And inside my table, I can start building things. So here we were using an object that I don't use. The last time I used it, I think this is 5 years ago. We called it the tab control. Okay. First of all, this tab control here, whoever used that and never wanted to toss the computer through the window, you spend, you know what I mean, right? You spend 2 hours making the calculation here, and you forget to say rename, and you lose it.
Oh yeah, the interface here is beyond hideous, right? In terms of it, because it's non-standard, right? It was made by different people. So like for those of you who understand this real quick, so when they built this feature, it was not built by the same people who built this feature over here or this feature over here or the various features over. This is like unique. So yeah, it's organically created by different people, and there's a lack of consistency, and somehow they thought this was good.
Yeah. And nobody want, and then they don't even want to go there. This will never ever be updated. Just to let you know. And the tab justification. This is 1984. The tab width. This is 1985. And so okay, this is 1980s. That was good. You know, the time of the Walkman with the the cassette. And the orange kind of a headset. The with the orange foam headset, the Walkman. That was great. So let's remove, now we have iPhone and streaming and stuff like that. So we don't, because the problem of this, you have absolutely no control and and you have no icon possible. Okay. So this tab here, I tell you, you can do whatever you want, but this control, I don't use it anymore. Okay. So what do I use? Oh, I use this guy here. Okay. I use this guy. Personally, I feel that this guy looks much better than, so why? Because what's the difference between this guy here and this guy here? Here is because I have the number, I have the title, and I have the icon, where here I cannot have it. Okay. So, but people says, Nick, this is not good because this is what I see when I do something like this. When in the name I'm putting this, I'm creating kind of something like this in the name. When I do this, right? The result when I am in layout mode, this is what I see, and that's why in FM starting point we put that, because normally if you remove this is what you see. So you don't know you are in the contacts tab, you don't know you are in the node tab, so we added this to tell the people. But now I'm going to educate you and say, okay, FileMaker has a feature that I love a lot, is what we call the sample data. So you go to view, show sample data, and now he's going to showing you on the layout mode what you will have seen in browse mode demonstration. Yes, I am in Richard Carlton Consulting. I am in layout mode, right? This is layout mode. Yes, it's Richard Carlton Consulting. Yes, it's Delacroix Boulevard. Yes, I have 8 contacts related to this company. If I go to browse mode, it doesn't change. Layout mode. And to go even further, I'm removing the field boundaries, which means now I can see in layout mode pretty much what I would have seen in browse mode. So that's very cool, because nowadays, less and less we need those boundaries and stuff, because we are educated, the field boundaries and stuff. We are educated more and more and more. And this is cool because you can see in layout mode how it will look really. What happened when I don't have text like here? For example, in layout mode, in browse mode, I don't have any text here, it's empty. So FileMaker is using the lorem ipsum kind of poetry. Okay, it's a Latin text that everybody's using when they want to put fake text. They use the lorem ipsum, and there's even a generator online that I'm using often.
Yeah, the Latin or whatever that is, or
yeah, the lorem ipsum.
Yeah.
They even there's a generator online. lorem lorem ipsum generator.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm using there's plenty. You can, I'm using this one most of the time. So you say, okay, you want, let's say I want 2 paragraph generates. So now you have a 2 paragraph lorem ipsum. Okay. So you can have fake text here. So they have a lorem ipsum text, and they they cherry pick some some words from that when they don't find any. But if they do, they show you the reality. Okay, so that very important when you need to do like we do here, a design where it's pixel precision. It's very important to see with the reality, right? Because otherwise, you cannot see. And it's helping a lot for here, showing you the real text. You know what I mean? Not calculation, not this. Not this. But you know what I mean? Billing address, shipping address. Okay. So I'm alternating this is depend. Okay. So now I have this button here. So how this button works and how this button looks, because it's very important. This is how it works and this is how it looks. So it's a button bar, and now I'm using a little bit of neumorphism. Remember skeuomorphism and neumorphism? We was kind of a flat design, but
okay. For those who don't know that, you missed day one. You have to go back and watch the video for day one, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah, day one. So we use shadows to give a sense of depth and a sense of
yep. Go on. Hang on one second, Nick. I got a question here. It's Big Bright. The color of the popover button is yellow. How do you put the color in? That's from YouTube. I missed the question. Sorry about that.
How the button here?
Yeah, it's the TK's there. The color of the. So from YouTube, that's from Francisco. Sorry about that. The color of the popover button is yellow. How do you put the color in?
Oh, that like it's a button.
Yeah.
Because a popover is a button.
Right.
Okay, it's a button. You have a button, and you put an icon. You put whatever you want here, right? See, and here, and you can put a color and a border and whatever.
Okay, another second question is, I guess I missed this too. Question: if you have more than 3 values for filter by, what is the best way to put them in with a scroll bar?
More than 3 value for sorting?
Yeah, it says if you have more than 3 values for filter by. So filter by, I guess.
Oh, yeah, okay. So I can, yeah, there's many ways we can address that. If you have more than 10, you need to switch to a polar. If you have less than 10 or less than 10, you can still use this, okay? And that's another way to do that, because also Popover, button bar have the ability, they have a particularity, and that's why I love them. Let's say you have a button bar like this. You have the button bar 1, 2, and 3, okay? So you have 2 multiple bar here. And actually I can use this. Let's say I want this. Those are buttons. See the button bar here? It says those are buttons. The button here. This is the button. Let's say invoice. I want the invoice not to be a button, but I want the invoice to be a popover within the button bar. So here how it works. You have the contacts, estimate, and invoice is a popover. So you can have in a button bar, because I'm using for this here, I'm using a button bar. So I could have 1, 2, and 3, and have a fourth choice say more, and have an additional popover. Okay. So the problem here is that I'm already in a popover, so that would have been a problem, because you wouldn't have. But there's other ways to address that. I can show you, but it's
a little bit off topic right now.
Yeah, for the moment, yeah. I need to go back to the train. So, but I will address it. I'm not dismissing the thing. I'm going to address it. How to, because as I said, you remember when I thought we discussed yesterday night. Most of the designers have a problem with FileMaker because they said, "Oh, okay. Oh, look how it's beautiful. Oh, yeah. It's missing 5 portals. It's missing 10 buttons. It's missing 20 fields. Is me. Oh, yeah, but if you put them, it's too complicated." Say, yeah, but you can't dismiss the thing. You can't remove things just because it's more convenient for the designer. You need to deal with the problem. So here it's a challenge. I'm going to, you know what? Actually, I'm going to think about the best way to do it, because you need to think about, you know,
Well, we
because I
could
could
tack
make
that on the end, Nick. So if we want to make a note. So what would we call this? The how to address the
address the large number of buttons, filters, and
yeah,
sort. You know,
yeah, large number of buttons filtered. Yeah.
So, so now those, what this is doing exactly, you know. So I lost my button here. Let me get back my button.
Yeah, I mean, I understand this is a very popular webinar. So we have some questions that I guess are a little off topic. So
Yeah.
we cover a lot of different topics. So if we're not covering the topic you're interested in, you can watch another one of our live streams that we've shot quite a few of, or you can check out our dedicated video course. So yeah.
And before we land the plane, I want to address the thing here. I want to show you. Okay, so now I want the list of contacts here, right? So you see the list of contact here. I want to address that, and I'm going to show you how, and tomorrow I'm going to explain you why. So this is the new list of contacts, okay? And this is how it looks. So actually here I added more info than what I had before, you know. So see, when you have, I want to address this because tomorrow I'm going to address the difference between this and this. Obviously, there's one that is much more appealing than the other one. And I'm going to talk about tomorrow, but I wanted to show you that it is possible to have a great UI, right? And without removing any. So far, I didn't remove anything, even one button, right? Even one. And you see, the name here is add contact, you know. So add contact, because there's a difference between create contact and add contact, and that will be something I'm going to address next week on Monday. Why we use add and not create, okay? You need to be precise in your wording. You need to be precise in what you say in the name of your button, because people are going to trust you. So that's why we tend to put in the name of the button, we tend to put a verb, an action, go, delete, print, duplicate, remove, you know, and remove what, create what, because now you have you don't need anymore here a title on the list telling you where you are, because okay, obviously this is active here, you see that contacts, so obviously I am in contacts, and my button here is saying that I can add a contact. Okay, so obviously the list below this, it's not the parts of the of a car, those are contacts, right? So yesterday I told you I was very excited with this design. Why? It's because it is extremely easy and cheap to implement. So what am I doing with easy and cheap? Okay, look at this. Just a field. Oh, where is another window? Where's the window? Hold on. Oh, here. Okay. So uh, the field here. Let's hide this. The field here, transparent, but transparent background, no border, no shadow, and nothing. Okay. This is a pop-up menu, no background, no border, nothing. This is a portal, no background, no border, nothing. This is a button bar, no background, no border, just on the active where you have an inner shadow, right? So that means what I want to show here is that all the components there's nothing to maintain, because when you have a design like this, and I noticed that working. When you have a design like this, okay, it's very, very high to maintain. You have a border, left bottom, and here you don't have on top. It's hard, and you need to make sure the alignment is perfect, and otherwise it looks like this very quickly. It looks off like this and stuff. So this is high. It requires a lot of maintenance, and a lot of let's say work to keep all those borders, all those things. Here in this design here, the advantage is the border is a shape here. Okay, here what I have this and this. That's it. It's very simple. And now FileMaker is also, see, you can add a field with the label on top like this. So I am going to, at the end of this, I'm going to have an entire theme I call Morpheus, because we were talking about matrix all the time, right? And we call that Neumorphism. Morphe. Okay, so I call the theme Morpheus, and this is a new theme that I'm going to build for you. Okay, so this is a preview of the theme. Okay, and so I will have an entire theme based on this. So it will
more and more and more and more and more and more and more. I mean, you're killing me, Nick. You're giving people so much stuff.
That's why they come here. So tomorrow, we are going to talk about layouts like this. We are going to talk about portals. Okay, why it is important to make the portal a certain way, and how you can play with the portals to avoid the complexity and to avoid many work. And that will be exciting too. And we are going to talk about other things. Because here I can give you a hint about what we are going to talk tomorrow. The button here. So those we are going to talk about those. Okay, and so plenty of exciting thing for tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess so. People are, of course, always asking me, hey, where's the sample file? Where's the free file? So I'm going to just state low-hanging fruit for the moment here. I'm going to go to partial screen on you, Nick. Is that the sample file is being built. You're looking at it, and it's day-to-day progress. So it's not like we have the final sample file available and we're just not giving it to you. Nick's building us on a day-to-day basis with you folks watching. He tends to work at night on it the day before. Or for a couple days, and then so we don't have the final file yet. So if we give the final out tomorrow, it'd be a very limited distribution. We want to make sure that people actually go get this file, sign up on our newsletter. They just don't get it without being on our newsletter. It'd be very important.
Our audience here is made of a lot of developers that are also have clients, right? So I mean, our audience is not the final client. There are some, but even as a developer, let's say you are a company, you have a consultancy, and you want to hire us to work with you on one of your customer, we can do that as well. Because sometime it could be nice to have the view. For example, let's say you have a customer with a very complex kind of a layout, a very complex interaction with his data and stuff like that, and you like to hire us for, let's say, a half a day or now 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever, and give kind of like counseling, give a
Nick is your therapist, your FileMaker therapist.
Yeah, I mean, because it's I know it's hard. I know it can be hard sometimes to deal with something with complex interaction.
Yeah,
I know that.
So anyway, so lots of awesome stuff going on. So we'll catch you tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day for the week. We're not going to have an open Friday kind of free-for-all where Kyle tries to hawk JSON and Neil tries to show how to run a loop to animate stuff. While both those techniques are pretty awesome, we want to let Nick keep going, at least for probably another week and a half. So cool. So it was getting the book done and going to DevCon, and then we gave it away one year, a couple of years ago, right? And of course, without, if DevCon is all virtual, if it's all virtual, which I suspect it probably will be, the question is how do we get people together, and and how do we get TK to fly out from Germany? That's like a long flight, and I don't know. So it's a kind of a mess. COVID kind of sucks. I was hoping 2020 would be over and 2021 would be better, but I still think I feel like December 2020 is still here, Nick. Just between you and me. So.
I know. That's why people say, well, why you do all the things? Because that's why I build my own world, right?
Yep, with all the foam behind you over there. Yeah, we like all that. So yeah, cool. All right, everyone, we'll catch you tomorrow. Appreciate it. See ya.
Guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected. The quarterback, great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Trying to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap, stands in, throws it left for Amendola, reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10, rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.